Being 7 o'clock, would you join me in the pledge of flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Lynn, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Grover?
Here.
Mrs. Sullivan? Here. Mr. Holchansky?
Here.
Mrs. Vanderwater?
Here.
Ms. Wozniak? Here. Mr. Pepper?
Here.
Mr. Zachariah?
Here. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from December 6th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments or changes?
I'm going to abstain.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. Citizens' comments.
Ken Bush?
Wishing to address the board?
Good evening, folks. Howard, I put a tie on for you. So I just wanted to come, I understand this is Howard's last official meeting, is that correct?
It is.
It is? Well, Brian May and I, we have a certificate of recognition, and we want to honor you for your years of service. The clerk told me that you were a village trustee in Baldwinsville, 4/3/95 to 4/1/2007.
Correct.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
And then you were a Van Buren Town Board member, 4/1/2008 to 12/31/23. So if my math is right, that's about 27 years and 10 months. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, well, anyway, the Onondaga County Legislature really wishes to honor you for your service and thank you for your just devotion to a community that you love so much, Baldwinsville and Van Buren. So,
Well, thank you for the recognition. This is a chocolate-covered potato chip.
Right.
This has to be from the Speech Candy Company.
Hey, Howard, here.
I'm going to give recognition to everybody here. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
Bud?
I think Ken probably ought to check his math. I think that's 37 years.
How many?
No,
37, 95,
28, 27.
28? Maybe
28.
my math's wrong. Anyway, I was there for all of it. I remember when Howard came on the village board, and he was placed on the Public Works Committee, which of course was my department's. And we worked well together there. Then he ran for town office, and I worked with him here all that time. So I've been with him for all that. He's been with me for all of it. So.
Half of your career.
And on behalf of my family, I just want to thank you for your years of commitment to the community, not just the town, but the village also. So
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tom Shaw?
I told the group in my work session, Howard, just a few minutes ago, that they wanted to know what I was going to do after I retired, that I'm turning my life around.
My name's Tom Shaw. I'm with 2227 Tappan Street in Baldwinsville. I've been coming to these meetings for the last 2 years, and I just want to thank all of you. And I didn't know Howard was retiring, but maybe a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
On a sadder note, I've got a few comments that I want to make. I know it's not on the agenda, but regarding the Kriego land development, in a few months, maybe longer, maybe shorter, I don't know, but I think the Planning Zoning Board is going to recommend to you that they approve the zone change for the PUD. I'm here to ask you not to approve it. Not because it involves me, but for a lot of reasons. You've all been going through it for a long time now. I would think, I would look at you look at growth in the bottom line to the town. That's now always where it should be. Do we need more apartments, more townhouses, more houses? My opinion is no, we don't. How do you grow a town without having new people come in? You have creative ways of developing things that attract everybody in the county, not only in the town. The detriments to the project, I've listened to traffic reports from other committees, and the gentleman was here. I disagree with him. The school, it's going to be a big impact on the school system. I think everybody's in agreement with that. We are now at a point where the schools are all full. The elementary schools, the middle schools, and the high school. I say this because my daughter is a teacher. I say this because I've been involved with various school functions. We go back to the development of the land is going to bring in who? I think apartments right now are super saturated. Claude mentioned earlier this year on the zoning board meeting that we have a number of apartments in the town of Van Buren that haven't even been built. And there are more going up now that I go down 690. I can see across the street you've approved more apartments. As you go down 31 toward the microchip factory, with everybody is touting is going to bring all these people to this community. I'll believe it when I see it. But I would think that who's going to come here to live? There was a report in the newspaper that housing is down 22%. They didn't say why. The why is because people are leaving this area because of lack of jobs, retirement. They're moving to places like Florida, Texas, Arizona. I've lived here for 54 years in the same house. I've looked at the same fields every day. The beautiful sunsets, the close but not confined areas that we live in. I'm going to probably be here for the rest of my life. Don't know how long that's going to be. I have 6 children. They all live in the town or close by. One is in south of Rochester, and that's family reasons. They've all gone through the school system here. The reason my wife and I moved here was because of the school system. I now see that changing considerably. And I see the education in general, not only in this town, this school district, this state, but the country as a whole, seems to be degrading. We've lost the high standards that we've set to include everybody. My assumption would be to keep the standards high, bring those that are low up. That's what makes a country great. So I think of what other issues are going to be here if we attract people from the inner cities or people from coming across the border. If you think their problems are going to stay in that area, think again. they're gonna move here. What else can we do with the land? Certainly the Kriegos deserve every chance they've got to sell it. Their family is out of state. I think Mary and Jerry are the only ones left here. So it's a tough challenge for you when you make a vote. But vote for the right reasons. Don't vote for tomorrow or because it's going to help the tax base next year. But vote thinking of what it's going to do to this area 10, 15 years from now. Most of you won't be here in your positions. I am sorry that I have never gotten involved. And just recently, seeing what you do, I'm exceptionally sorry that I didn't get involved. Again, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Tom, I just want to follow that up, and I just want you to know that before any voting will be done at this board, there will be a public hearing, and every resident who wants to come and speak their opinion will have that opportunity. So I really hope when that is scheduled, you will come back and word for word do that speech all over again, okay?
I will do it. You're the ones that are caught between a rock and a hard place.
Well, I think,
You know, I watched you all for the last number of years that I've been coming, and I feel that you really do care about what happens in the county, what happens in the town, what's happening in the school district. I just think there are a lot of things you have to think about, and you not only have to look at one side of the problem, but both sides, and listen to all the information that's given.
sure. Yep, we will.
Bigger is not always better.
Thank you.
It's true too. Very true. Thank you, Tom. Lynn, do you have anyone else?
No.
Just one last call. Anyone else wishing to address the board? We'll move on to item number 1, approval of vouchers. One has the vouchers at a total of $83,344.78. And can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On item number 2, our assessor's report.
Good evening. Our normal schedule this time of year is working on the 2024 assessment roll and renewing all our exemptions for next year's assessment roll. But I wanted to include some attachments for you to bring up to speed with some new things. We changed the income limit for our senior citizen exemptions and disability exemptions this past summer. We got a list from the state of New York based on income tax returns of people who may qualify for the exemption. And we sent postcards, and you have an example of that in your packet, to everyone that was on that list that didn't already have the senior exemption. Some of them do qualify, and we're giving them the paperwork and getting them signed up. Others do not, because we're counting all of their Social Security and we're not deducting the IRA. But it's informing our seniors that this is a new option because the income limit has gone up. Also attached, the governor signed, we have for years had numerous veterans exemptions, but we never had more of an active service members exemption. And the governor signed legislation in 2023 that basically service members in the military that have fulfilled their initial military service commitment and were not discharged or released when that initial commitment ended because they re-enlisted, they would have been eligible for a non-dishonorable discharge or release if they had not re-enlisted and have served for at least 10 years. That is new this year. It will apply to the 2024 assessment roll. So if any, service members think they qualify, they would need to call the assessor's office. The deadline is March 1st. The problem is this is so new, we do not have any applications or guidance as far as what we need for documentation. So we're trying to get the word out to those people so that they can make an application before the March 1st deadline. And like I said, that's brand new for this next year.
So,
Also attached.
Teresa, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So, do we have to do anything to include this new definition in any of our exemptions already in existence?
No, it's just an expansion of the alternative veterans exemption that we already offer. Okay? So there is nothing that you need to do. The third attachment is from the state. These are preliminary trends. Major type A are residential properties, for your clarification. And what this is telling us is residential values in Onondaga County have gone up year to year, and they range from a low of 7%, which is in the city, to a high of 14%, and Van Buren falls at 9%. We have not gotten the adjustments for commercial or vacant properties yet. They will come later. So residential sale prices and values are continuing to go up. And the last attachment is my continuing education report, which says I'm back in the good graces with the state of New York because I went to a whole lot of training last year to catch up after the pandemic kind of shut everything down. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
So where are we, our equalization rate fell to 95?
95, yes.
So if we were to keep things flat for another year and this trend continued, we would dip to around 86%?
It'll be a little closer to 90 because the commercial and the vacant
Okay.
help offset that residential because the equalization rate encompasses all of those property types,
Okay.
not just residential. So it'll be closer to 90%.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, Teresa.
If I could just throw out real quick, a little while ago, we were talking about having somebody, a veterans representative of some sort for the town. This would be a perfect example of how we could get the word out on these new changes to all the vets in the community, if we had something to that effect. So maybe we could use the Kyle Snyder Foundation, if somebody could maybe have them do some outreach for us on that sort of thing. That might work out well for us.
I also think something in Canton
Very good
Woods
idea.
newsletter
Yeah.
would be good too. Or adding it to our website as well.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? We'll move on to number 3. Lynn, we do have a correction on number 3. It is a 4-year contract and not a 3-year contract. So item number 3, approve the 4-year contract with AMS CME Highway Departments Union.
AFSME.
AFSME.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries, and well done. Good job, you guys. Item number 4, purchasing code books for the codes department. These are state code books that we are lacking. Total cost would be $900. This was not a budget item. We had code books that were lent from another township that requested them back, so we're just replacing those. Make a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item number 5, we have a series of budget modifications. Everyone have that in front of them?
No.
Or end of year?
No.
Wasn't in your packet?
No.
Oh, geez, that one's supposed to be in your packet.
Is this the, oh, is there more than, the only one I knew of is the one to settle up the parks project?
Yeah, that was, we did that one on the last one. We did that last.
I don't think so.
We did.
Okay. We'll go back and look.
This one is for for equipment, the UTV, building security, engineers travel, highway superintendent wages, contractual with the police department, and
I might be stealing from your highway
Towns Road,
superintendent wages.
so yeah, I'll pass those down for you guys. Just end of year transfers to make everything balance.
It doesn't add anything to the budget.
It does not, it's just moving money around.
That's important.
Oh, here it is. It is on here. Transfer to CD fund for playground grant.
Oh, that's the other one.
That's the one I was talking about.
Oh, sorry, I think you're talking about paving.
No, the playground equipment. I'll make a motion to adopt the budget modifications.
I'll let everyone take a look at it.
It's not gonna change it.
No,
You good?
I did.
Okay.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I can see.
That motion carries. We have a penciled in number 6
Housekeeping.
as well. Appointment of our rec supervisor. Oh, I don't know her last name. Selena Buckner.
This phone.
Jeez. Effective January 2nd, 2024 at $28.64 per hour. Selena is currently our codes clerk and will be moving over to the Parks Department.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. I'd just like to add that we did do extensive interviewing.
We did.
She was the best candidate identified, so.
And we'll be doing that again for codes clerk.
Yes, we will.
And so, Rick, is she just intern because she's gotta take the test?
I believe she took the test for the clerk, but now she'll have to take another test for the rec supervisor.
Right, that's
So
what I'm
she
referring
would
to. So
technically
she's
be
an interim employee until she takes the test? Provisional.
Yes.
Okay, so do you need to make that part of your motion that she's a provision? No. Okay, and then there's no test currently scheduled, correct?
No.
I don't believe
There's
so.
not.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. We're gonna, at the end, we're gonna end with a brief executive session. Is there one more item? Are you gonna introduce that?
No, first meeting in January.
You can go to counselor.
Yes, I can. Well, actually, I'm gonna take a special dispensation of the supervisor. I'm gonna give my comments first. And I wanted to thank you, Howard, for, again, I know it's been a recurring theme. Thank you for all your years of service, especially when I was a green counselor back in the day. I did learn a lot from you.
I'm glad you came back.
Thank you. I'm glad you were still here. So thank you again. Now I will go to the other comments. Counselor Committee comments. Howard, do you have anything you'd like to say on your way? The last one.
Okay, here goes. I'm glad everybody is happy. I think I've left the board in good shape. I try to think that way. And to Mr. Shaw's point, I am very concerned about the quality of life here with increased population. We've always had that situation here, and I think we've controlled it pretty well. We've tried to develop in developed areas instead of taking raw land under developers. We can't help that now anymore. We're just about built out to the extent of our infrastructure, sewers and water and things of that nature. And we've just got to be very careful about how we do this, but we're on the right track. We've got safeguards in place now to prevent anything like a sellout, which is what some towns are doing. I know they're in desperate shape for for budgeting. And we've also took the reins under Claude to modernize and make everything as efficient as we could from day one. And that's paying off now too. We've still got all those safeguards in place. So I want to recommend to the public that if they have any issues, I wish every citizen were like you, involved, inquisitive, sometimes asking questions we can't answer, but that we need to have answers to. So thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Howard.
Yeah,
Jen?
I'll get off my stump now.
I do have a few things. One, I, about 2 weeks ago, went to the Canton Woods Center board meeting, and there was a couple items that I wanted to pass on. One, the wreath sale was excellent. The wreaths, I don't know if any of you have purchased them in the past, but they're absolutely beautiful. They're taking fundraising funds and they're strategizing on what to spend on those funds. They're going to, they're looking at doing their front entrance landscape, the spruce up, and buy park benches for their new walking path, which is amazing. It's really pretty. And during that meeting, the Baldwinsville School District rep had provided us the notice that they had received the grant for the free meals for the students beginning in January. So I think that's a pretty amazing. And then I had also attended the planning board meeting last Tuesday, and Kriego Farms was on the agenda, and they had a lot of items, bullets that they were going through with what the board had required and requested additional information. And one that sat as a critical point is the right-hand turn lane at the intersection of Kriego and Downer Street. So that is still something that's pretty critical for that project. And also I want to thank my buddy here, Howard, for his 28 years of service. I know Ken had already spelled out the time frame of when he was a village trustee and when he was a town councilor, but you have brought a lot of experience and knowledge and history to this board. And my 2 years being on the board, sitting next to you, whispering in my ear, has been a wonderful opportunity. And I thank you for your service. And
Thank you.
I wish you the best in your retirement. And
Yeah.
please come visit us, because we were gonna miss you.
Well, I've been asked to continue on with the Erie Canal.
Yes.
200
By centennial.
anniversary. Yes,
Yep.
the monument that we're gonna put up on the canal trail. I hope it's significant. I hope we have enough designers submitting plans. We're gonna have public contest, I think.
That would be wonderful.
That would be nice. We haven't discussed it yet because we haven't budgeted anything for it, but
Well, we're getting there. We're almost there.
I want it to last another 200 years.
That's right.
And that's all I have, except happy holidays to everybody.
Jeff? What?
I'm just going to echo what everybody is saying. Howard, I've gotten to know you personally a little bit, and certainly in the 2 years I've been here.
Yeah.
I've been just amazed at the depth of your knowledge.
Really?
Not just of this community, but overall. You seem to know the answer to every question I ever have.
Part of the reason I got this job was to be on the original committee for comprehensive planning. And that is where I learned a whole lot about the town's history. But it's also why I got into it, because I love to learn about things, the systems, and I'm especially impressed at the help the legal people have given me on how to look at different things on a procedural basis and what we can and can't do. Because I was an engineer and I was goal-oriented. How do we get something done? And it takes a combination of those two approaches to be a good government official. You've got to have vision and you've got to be able to plan how to get there, especially with funding.
It's always the toughest part.
Yeah, all of that.
And that's why, exactly, right there is exactly why I really appreciate it, just even over the past couple of years. Everything you've done for the board, everything you've done for the town, everything you've done for me personally. So thank you very much for all of that.
Well, I've had to slack off a couple times.
Well, you had to take that tree down, I know, on your own, so
I know I did. Yeah, Mike and I have a relationship outside the board, but we have.
And I'm looking forward to coming over and having a cigar with you at some point, too.
Thank you. My door's open.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Percy?
I guess I would be remiss to just pass here because I've served with Howard the last 10 years and your wit is what really breaks it up. I'm gonna miss that a lot. So thank you for your counsel, guidance, everything.
I have to bite my tongue.
We have to step up our dry humor game. Wendy?
So just to echo everyone's comments, I've known you for a really long time, since when I served with the board back in 2004. You will be surely missed. And just like everyone said, you bring so much experience and knowledge to this board with a combination of that wit and humor that we really are going to miss. So please come back and visit us, and thank you for everything that you've done for this town.
Thank you. A
And
lot
Merry
of what
Christmas to
Claude's done
everybody.
has rubbed off on me, I'll tell you. I owe him a lot too.
Well,
Howard, I have only had the opportunity to work with you for probably the last 9 months, since March. Your knowledge is incredible, and it was an honor to work with you these last 9 months. I wish we could make it go longer, but it's been an honor.
No, there's a time for everything.
Well, you'll be back, I'm sure. One other comment I wanted to make was to Doug. Thank you for contacting the state. The signs appear to be up on Sorrel, so that was amazing how quickly that went up after they've been sitting there since last winter, I believe. So thank you for getting a hold of them to get that also
I
straightened
didn't
out.
notice
Sure
it.
did anything or not, but I'm glad to do it.
I just assumed they were covered with snow.
Right.
They were on
I
the ground.
didn't notice.
And other than that, happy holidays to everybody.
thank you, Bob. Doug, comments?
I just like to quick thank the committee that worked on the negotiations and the board for approving the contract. We as a town are actually blessed to have a crew that really does a outstanding job. It's not always easy, in the middle of winter. Things happen, trucks break down, they cover for each other. No questions asked, no thoughts about it. We have 4 gentlemen that come in, they're retired, some put 30 plus years in town and still answer phone calls at 3 in the morning, which I don't know why they do it, but thankfully they do. It's wonderful to have them come in, no questions asked, to help get the road safe for everybody, which leads me to 2 other points. One, if anybody's interested in answering that call at 3 in the morning, we're always looking for more names to put on our roster to call for There you help. go, Howard. And also.
Do I have to pass a vision test?
And please also, to the public, keep your cars off the road in the morning, make it safer for everybody, these guys to get the job done and for everybody on the road. For everybody. So, other than that, everybody have a wonderful holiday.
Next time.
Thanks.
You do, you got a hell of a group down there. Jason?
I have nothing this evening, so happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Nikki?
So I'm going to jump on the Howard Love Fest. It's been a pleasure. I represent quite a few municipalities, and few are as fortunate as Van Buren to have somebody with the institutional knowledge and the commitment to their community. So I have not had the time that some of the other people here have had serving with you, but it has been a pleasure. And I feel like people with your sense of civic duty, they're few and far between, Howard, and the town of Van Buren has most certainly been blessed to have you. So it's been a pleasure. Good luck in retirement. Now, I think if I were you, I'd come and I'd be a heckler, right? You can ask, those questions that you said that Tom asked that nobody can answer, you can ask the questions we don't want to answer. I think that sounds like fun in retirement, but I'm just throwing it out there. But,
Thank you very much.
we're doing it. No. Jason's right. Go to the village with me.
They'll pay me to stay away.
But happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you.
Solar?
Oh, solar, we have, so there is real stuff.
The solar, there was a draft solar local law prepared, revising what we have. It was circulated to the town board. There has been some proposed changes. They won't take very long, so what we will do, the plan is the first weekend, the first meeting in January, we will introduce that, schedule a public hearing for the second meeting, and the town board should be in a position to be able to approve it if they are so inclined at that second meeting. So we should be wrapping that up. They are significant changes, and it does put the town, I believe, and I would defer to the committee, but I think it puts the town in a lot better position regulating solar energy systems moving forward, particularly as they become more prevalent and they continue to evolve. So that will be at the next meeting.
Thank you.
And we'll do the same day. Thank you, Nikki. Lynn, is today?
Nope.
All right, we're going to have a brief executive session. I anticipate no changes. We're going to adjourn from our regular town board meeting. We'll re-adjourn on January 3rd. Make a motion to go into executive session.
Moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.